Good morning, Cathedral kids. Now, here's a question for you. What are you looking forward to? In a few days' time, it will be December, and something lots of people are starting to look forward to is Christmas. I don't know about you, but I already have my advent calendar. It's ready to go, sitting on my mantelpiece, chocolate one obviously. And actually, Advent is a special time of looking forward. There are 4 Sundays before we get to Christmas Day, and on each of them we have a chance to think about different people in the Bible who were looking forward. And the first person we look at is a man called Abraham. Now, he and his wife lived in a place called HARRAM. Here is HARRAM, and here is Abraham. And this is his wife, Sarah. And in HARRAM, they lived with lots of other members of their family. Cousins, uncles, aunts, loads of their relations, and of course lots of their friends. But one day, an extraordinary thing happened. God spoke to Abraham. He told Abraham to leave his country and all of his relations and friends, and to go with Sarah to a completely new land, somewhere called Canaan. But here's the thing. Abraham trusted God. So he packed up his belongings and he set out with Sarah to the land of Canaan. Taking all their things, off they went. They were both quite old at this point and didn't have any children, so they just went to their new home and set up camp, just as God had told them to. Abraham had listened to God, and he had done as God had asked, and God was pleased with him. And so one day God made him a promise. He asked Abraham to come out of his tent and to look up at the night sky. He then asked Abraham to try and count all of the stars. But just as Abraham was trying to count all of the stars, God made his promise. He promised to give Abraham many, many descendants. That meant that Abraham would have grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren, and great-great-great-grandchildren, and so on and so on. In fact, so many, they would eventually number all the stars in the sky. God then promised Abraham that the whole of the land of Canaan would be his. And he would bless Abraham and all of the generations after him. So Abraham looked forward to seeing what God would do. And God kept his promises, even though Sarah was quite old. Later, they had a baby, Isaac, which means laughter. And this was the start of God's family, a family that was looking forward to seeing God's plans. A plan that would eventually bring the greatest blessing of all, Jesus. But that is a story for later on in December.